Greetings and salutations, Pokemon fans. We're back with more excellent black and white content, which I'm sure you were absolutely waiting for. And if you weren't, well, you should have, because this is going to be a great one. Hopefully, we are looking at SPL Week 7, Smogon Premier League Week 7, and today we're analyzing Monai against Dark Eeveon. And look, there's a Zapdos on the screen. This guy. And then what happens when you load Zapdos? Latias Terrakion. Every single time, man. Every single time without fail. Chomp too is kind of annoying. Yeah, you beat Scizor. Great, but let's say that there are other ways to beat Scizor that don't require Zapdos. Anyway, there's still a Zapdos, so let's get some hype in here. Right. Let's. So why is Zapdos good? Or rather, Zapdos is not good, but what are Zapdos' best qualities? Like, why would you want to run Zapdos on your team? Number one, it vaults witches and base Tyranitar. Number two, it completely counters a few very annoying mons. Well, not completely, but it counters a couple of very annoying mons most of the time. Scizor is one of them. The other guy is what's it called, man? Excadrill, right. If Excadrill doesn't have Rock Slide, Zapdos just kind of sits on it forever. And then it can Volt Switch on Titar, which is quite nice for your Psychic types, like in this case. And these are nice qualities, of course. It has massive downsides, obviously, which is why it's not that used. Number one, it really, really needs spin, which, I mean, there's an Excadrill here. And two, it forces in a few things that are very annoying to deal with. But hey, let's see how it plays out. So after this Zapdos eulogy, because honestly, this one is so dead, man. Let's look at the teams as a whole. Right, so Eeveon went for 6 Pokemon with at least 300 in their main attacking stat, which I respect that a lot. This is a very offensive team. Like, the weakest guy is Latias here. Latias still has 300 special attack stat, mind you. And so everyone else is like, this guy's what, 130 attack? So does this guy, so does this guy. This guy does, what, 130 special attack? This guy is even higher, like 134 attack. And Latias is the only one that's at what, 110? Poor lad. So this team hits hard. Now, is it hitting hard game winning? Yes, most of the times it is, but can your mons hit hard the right targets? That's the question. Looking at this, I'm not convinced they can. I'm very skeptical of this matchup for Eeveon. Okay, so Keldeo is pretty good here, so that's a nice one. But the other mons are not great, right? There's a Hippodon here, and I know for a fact that this is one of the rare sightings of physically defensive Hippodon, and so Terrakion is permanently walled. Scizor, there's a Zapdos here, but there's also a Hippodon. It's Rocky Helmet Hippodon, by the way. Chomp, if it's got Draco Meteor, then it could be strong here, but there's also Ferrothorn. It can be played around, at the very least. And and then there's a Zamir with spikes and rocks, and the spinner is we saved it for the next game, I guess. So this could be a very hard game for Eeveon. I expect it to be a very hard game for Eeveon. But it can win, right? One, as the Chomp kind of strong into this. Yeah, there's a defensive Hippodon, but what's he going to do? Earthquake you for 30%? With you? I mean, okay, whatever. I will come back eventually. And you have English as well. And Scissor into, say, Latios Dam is pretty okay. Depends on a few things, but even just if you get rocks up and Scissor can get a U-turn for free out a couple of times, it gets pretty strong. Because you U-turn, Zapdos takes rocks or Hippodon, and then you go Keldeo, and then Monai's play is not that obvious. Yeah, there's a Latios here, but rocks, Sand, could be AC win Keldeo for all we know, or even just Eden Power. Ice, Ghost, Bug, whatever people run nowadays. So it is doable, but it depends on a few things, as I said. Titar could also go stupid if it's specialty. That guy kills everything in one. Dark Pulse Ice Beam Fire Blast Titar, that's my guy. It's kind of strong into this, but yeah. There's still an X-Carry on this side, so maybe not that easy. Okay. So what do we lead with? I will lead Calde Familion, and obviously you lead the Hippodon, right? You can... No, actually, you lead Zapdos. Zapdos beats everything when it's full health, except Terrakion, but there's a Hippodon here, so that's fine. Chomp you HP Ice. Against everything else you Volt Switch, except Terrakion where you hard Hippo. Even if your opponent reads the switch and goes, say, Keldy on the Hippo, then you can go Latios and that's fine. You're scouting the Zapdos pretty nicely. So I think you lead Zapdos. And if you're Eeveon, you lead... I have absolutely no idea. Keldeo? Uh, Keldeo doesn't even one KO Ferrothorn, unless it's Specs, but is it Specs on this? It could be. You have a Titar here, so that makes Specs pretty dangerous. I will lead... I don't fucking know, man. Let's see what these people do in game. Think. Okay, Zapdos, Latias. Okay, you just wall switch as I said, and Draco Meteor comes out, and 99%. It is Pex Latias. Right. Well, you go Hippo and get Rocks up. Rocks will do more damage than, like, over the course of this game than Latias will do, probably. And this is very sad because Latias just kill 1-1. But that's just how it is. Sand, especially, also will be very strong. Okay, so Keldo comes in, you immediately go Latios, and Eeveon attacks. Okay, 25 is not specs, so that's something to consider. Immediate switch. Oh, okay, so is this something like belt? This I mean, this team looks old. Like, you will see this kind of team sometimes. I don't know, like 2016, 17. But I don't think they're any good nowadays. But hey, yeah. So problem here is that Keldo does not want it KO Ferro, and Ferro there's a Latias, so maybe you want to preserve him. No, Evian disagrees. Oh well, T-Wave, yeah, T-Wave makes a lot of sense though. That's fine. Even if you get Secret Sword, that's okay, because you've killed Substitute. Oh, got them up though. Okay. Substitute. No revealed item. You have to power whip here. There's no other play. Okay. If I'm Evian, I fish for the miss and then win the game. I looks like that's not what happened. Okay, very aggressive Latios by Monai, but now what? There's a Latios here. I think it's Scarf. I think Monai switches here. Back to Ferro. That's what I will do. Ah, Zapdos. Sure. Caesar. You just go eat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because I know that it's Scarflatius, but Eeveon doesn't know it yet. For all he knows, this could be Specs Latios Scarfescadrill. So you cannot just add superpower here, right? I mean, you could maybe, but that seems deranged. There's also a war in which Monai are Sippodon here, though. Probably not. I mean, Scarf Scissor makes little sense on this team too, so yeah. Okay. Titar got thrown to the wolves. In comes Latias, immediate Harferro. There's no nothing else to do here. Ferro is kind of weak into everything here except the Latias, so you may as well just go Ferro. And here you click Power Whip or Leech Seed. Let's see, Leech Seed. Okay, go Hippo. It's max defense power, Rocky Helmet, so this game's not over, but looks very bad for you. Okay, he can win because Garchomp could still technically destroy everything, but I'm not sure how he pulls it off from here. Okay, Zlakov. Actually, Kenny, no, right? Because you sub down, like, unless you get Salak up, because I mean, it has to be Salak, right? And a sub up, but you also need to SD, so you need tutors free at the very least. You must dodge Power Whip twice. But no, if you dodge Power Whip, you cannot activate Salak. This looks very unfortunate. Okay, Pharaoh comes out, and you just pump Power Whip again. This is probably Linguish, so you can just Power Whip. You're not going to get recover stalled. If it recovers, you can just switch. I'm not sure to what, but you can switch. You can switch to Escadrille, actually, kind of useless. Okay, sacrifice Scissor, and now you go for the Chomp win angle. Oh, Terrak. Unrevealed item 10 Terrak, you just go Hippo, yeah. This is 100% play, and that's a Scarf Terrak, it looks like. Which means... What does it mean? It means that you have lost. What's the out here? If you're Eeveon. Okay, so... You Draco here. Because you have to. Pharaoh comes out, you healing wish your chomp, and then sub up and believe in yourself. I think that's the. Okay, you skip the Draco Meteor part, which is probably better if you knew that Pharaoh was coming in, because now you've guaranteed Pharaoh in, and not that your opponent doubles on the healing wish, so this is better. You go chomp, and you sub up, and hope your opponent misses. That's the only way out. You could make a case that Monai could just switch to Zamdo, right? Or even Hippo. Because Hippo, you just... Okay, since it's Scarflatios and Terrakin is low, I think you can afford to go Hippo here, which is probably better than clicking Power Whip, right? Because Power Whip misses. If it misses once, whatever. If it misses twice, though, you kind of lose. It's low chance, but it must be better than than risking this, right? So you go Hippo, opponent subs, you Earthquake, opponent has this. You Earthquake again, your opponent has this again, and then clicks whatever button, and then you go Latios and Surf. And Chomp dies. Yeah, I'm assuming Hippo don't dies, but it's a +4 Chomp, so probably. You Surf, Keldo comes out, you know the Keldo is unchoiced, so you simply go Escadrille on the Keldeo, right? Escadrille dies, you go Zamp, Psychic, and it's done. it guarantees your win. Whereas if you power whip and miss, you cry in your sleep, which I do a lot of sometimes. No, that's not true. I'm a soulless automaton, I don't cry. But I think this is not the right sequence. I mean, doesn't it probably doesn't matter. It does. If you miss two power whips, yeah, you got axed, but also get a grip. You use seed bomb. I don't know. Whatever. It would have gone the same way, except you would have a Pharaoh turn. I mean, rather you didn't risk anything. Okay, yeah, you just go Exca, as I said. Escadrille will mega die. That's a calm mind. Huh. I mean, it doesn't matter. Zam destroys this anyway. Okay, 100%. Goodbye, Escadrille. You've been a glorious fighter for us. And here comes the psychic. This is such a bad Alakazam nickname, man. What the heck? This is disgraceful. Alright, so it was Payapa Berry Keldeo, which kind of makes sense, does it? You have Scissor, Payatari, you also run Payapa, okay, sure, man, whatever. And it's just game over. Oh, maybe, okay. There is a world in which this was not Scarf Terrak, and instead was like Swords Dance. And if you do the Hippo on the 1v1 Hippo Chomp, um, let's. I mean, no, there's no way, right? Whatever. The Right, so this is what I meant with, yeah, you have six strong attackers, but what can they accomplish against the enemy team? Terrakion nothing because it's Scarf against max defense helmet hippo. This was catastrophic. Scissor was unclear. It superpowered once the Ferro and did very little to hippo. Let's give it a quick check. Right, so I'm a hippodon. I'm a happy, big, fat hippodon. And I'm a scissor. I click superpower. And I do 20%. It did. How much did it do? This looks banned. 37. Oh, wow. Sorry, this turn. Right. So, scissor clicks superpower here. And that's 37%. And so we go back to the calculator and see that 37 is precisely an high roll against. It wasn't max, like it was whatever, close to 40 maybe. I don't think. Let's do to 32 because this is the jump point. Look at this +2. Yeah, value. But yeah, okay. This was choice band scissor, right? Kind of useless against this, too slow, right? Bullet Punch is threatening, U-turn is threatening, but you get very little chances to use them, and also you have no spinner against Rock Spikes. So Scissor is also kind of useless this game. Keldeo was Kama in Payapa Berry, which was okay-ish this game, but also not really, right? You need to call out the Latios Witch perfectly. And even if you do, I don't know, you probably still lose. I mean, Latios will be very close to death. Or maybe that was closer than I envisioned. Latios did a lot of damage. In fact, it got the only kill of this game, which, yeah. Chomp subs Wars Dance. Very unfortunate matchup. But it's Garchomp, right? So, like, it's subs Wars Dance Garchomp. This is look like a random collection of mods from Eeveon. I don't see the full game plan of this beyond something very basic like, oh, I pursue it Latios, and then my opponent's only way to revenge kill held this Zam, but I have a Payapa Berry. Haha, got him. Which, okay, but even with Zam, Zam still has 50 something percent and sand and rocks and spikes, and then you have to use your Kelly early anyway against this type of team. So it will only work like very rarely. I'm not a fan of this at all. Monai's team, I don't know, Zapdos sucks. What do you want me to say? Ah, but what? You greenlit this team? Yeah, I gave it a green light. Do you know want to know why? Because it was like 5:30 p.m. and the game was at 7 p.m. and this was the only team we had. So what can we do about it, right? I mean, it makes some sense. It's okay. It's just that I'm a Zapdos hater, so when I see Zapdos, I just assume it's going to suck. And my oh my, would you look at what happened this game? Actually, no, it was fine because tanking Draco and then getting up 3 rocks against this and then giving yourself a free sack, that's pretty good. There's some WoW mons that could not give you that, I guess, so there's that. Ah, okay, I'm trying a little bit too hard, right? But it was okay, like, oh, it burned 2 Draco Meteor PPs. Huh. Ah, yeah. But yeah, not much to say playing wise. This team just falls to spikes, well, when I click spikes and one. That's the. There was a very nice play though. A bit courageous maybe. This one, 7 to 8. Hard Latios here is a play for sure. But I mean, if the chomp outrages, you just go X carnage, kill it, and then it's fine because you have one spike up. You know what else spikes things up? Women spikes, claviculars, cortisol, right? Is Ferrothorn no, Ferrothorn is homophobic. I mean that's not exclusive to men, I guess. So never mind. Right. Okay, so let's say Eeveon reads display and outrages the Latios. And Dragon Claw, there's no shot, right? And so you're locked into outrage. Your opponent goes Excadrill because then, yeah, revenge kills, but then you're kind of stuck inside with double pursuiter. Excadrill will die to a crit. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? And you revenge kill the chomp. Your opponent goes Latias. I think the gameplays are largely the same. The main difference would be if this is Dragon Claw. So the problem here is that you really have no way of killing Hippodon except for switching around rocks and spikes with monsters that take some damage. That's extremely fickle, to put it mildly. And so yeah, but still it was cool in the moment, and that's why we played this game, for the hype and aura moments, right? And then you read the name of the player who goes for the hyper play, and you're like, oh my gosh, not this guy. And yeah, that's how it ends. With Hippodon standing on the field, contemplating what just happened. He's just like me. Yeah. And goodbye.